Hey, everybody, where the hell is Joey? Let's get him on here.
He's
Oh,
here.
there you are. For some, I guess it timed out. That's probably on my end. But yes,
I sometimes I have to refresh it, otherwise it's just a frozen still of you. So I have to refresh it, and then it makes me rejoin.
well, that just allows you to, bask in my glory. But
Yes,
welcome
bathe
back.
in the essence.
Welcome back. Exactly, yes. Breathe it in. Yes, people, life can be this delicious.
Yes. Little did you know.
Welcome back, everybody, for the next and latest and newest edition of the Adult Table. I, of course, am your host, Trav, along with my co-host, the incomparable, the incredibly powerful, the 500-pound bench-pressing vanilla gorilla himself, and trust me, that will be a topic later, the one and only Mr. Joey Fats.
Thank you, buddy. It's good to be back. Sorry, we missed last week. It was.
Hey, dude, life happens, work happens.
I forgot. I completely forgot that my schedule was completely turned upside down last week, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I had to do this." I came home. I got home at 4:00 in the afternoon-ish.
Yep.
And I think my head hit the couch, and I woke up, and it was like 7:30. I was like, "Oh,
hey,
right.
I am more than accommodating when it comes to my schedule is way more regular than yours. At least in the
mine's usually very regular. It's just there are certain 1 or 2 weeks a year where it's not, and this was one of those 1 or 2 because I go from working basically 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. most days to having to work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. So when you go from trying to do that flip,
oh no, dude, I had to
days. I'm like,
I had a job that I worked, and me going into it, I had the understanding that it would be second shift, which was 3 to 10:30 p.m.,
yep.
which would have been fine. I get there, have the interview, and during the interview, the guy says, "Actually, it's a split shift," and I'm like, "Well, what does that mean? And how is it split?"
Ugh.
He goes, "Well, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, you'll be working second shift." I'm like, okay, but well, actually, no, it was Tuesday and Wednesday, second shift. I'm like, well, what about where's the rest of the 40 hours? He's like, yeah, we're gonna need you to work 12-hour shifts on Saturday and Sunday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But that's why we give you the time in between to adjust your sleep. I'm like, that's still fucking with me though. My internal clock is now schizophrenic. Thanks a lot.
I went from doing my regular 3 p.m. to 7 a.m. twice a week. I do 2 shifts, 2 16s, 3 p to 7 a, and then a single, which was a 3 to 11. And then we changed it up and we started doing 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. And it took my body, I would say no word of a lie, it took me almost a full year to adjust going to day shift from overnights.
Yes, especially with shifts that long too.
It was absolutely fucking brutal. I can't tell you how many times I'd be on a post, I'd be standing up, at a post where you're out in a field, just monitoring cons, and you're just standing there staring around, and my knees would buckle because I would fall asleep on my feet.
And you're like, shit, my whole position is based on me being alert.
Yeah, not a good look. Not when you're supposed to be they're like, keep your head on a swivel. I'm like, yeah, it's on something.
My head, I feel like a bobblehead right now because I'm doing this and I'm.
And it's just I don't know. I'm not a day shift guy. I've come to that conclusion. I'm not a morning person. I'm not a day shift guy. When I hit the gym, my brother will always tell me we usually live together, and he'll be like, hey, do you want to go early tomorrow? And I'm like, no.
Why?
Yeah, I'm like, no. I'm like, I have the whole day off. I'm like, why? What's the rush? He's like, oh no, I just want to go get it over with so I can go do stuff. And I'm like,
yeah, I know, I get that.
What do you have to do? It's an hour and a half. What are we really talking about here?
No,
and he'll want to go at he'll be like, let's get up and go at 7:30, and I'm like, no. I'm like, absolutely not. First of all, no, I don't like waking up at that time of day. Second of all, my body doesn't respond to working out at that time of day. I just can't do it. I'm like 10
then
a.m.
you'd
is
have
like
to change your dietary intake, your eating habits too,
eating
altogether.
habits, sleeping habits, like, and then I gotta wake up like because I can't just go to the gym for 7:30. Like that means I gotta wake up at 6, start my day at 6 o'clock, which means I have to be in bed by 10 to get my 8 hours. Like, no, not happening, dude. And then of course, he'll suggest like, yeah, let's go to the gym early tomorrow while it's like 2:30 in the morning and we're playing Call of Duty. And I'm like, you realize that's not happening, right? Like,
yeah, that's
even
4 hours
10:30
from
right
now.
now is 10 hours, 8 hours from now, dude. Like, you realize it's gonna be an afternoon session, okay? Like, just get it over with. Like, but priorities, man. Everybody's got different priorities. So
No, I personally I like the nightlife. But there's certain things I like to do during the earlier hours, like being outdoors, like kayaking, and I've been doing that now
yeah,
for a
for
number of
sure.
years.
Like, I mean, if we're golfing, like, I have no problem getting up
Yes,
early.
if it's something I want to do.
But I gotta be doing something though. I can't just be getting up to like be up. Like, I never understood that. Like, my dad would always yell at me when I was a kid. He'd be like, why don't you get out of fucking bed, go do something? And I'm like what? I'm like, first of all, I closed the bar last night. I didn't get home until 4 o'clock. Second of all, and then there were
I already jacked off 3 times since then, so that's out the window.
I'd wake up at like 8 o'clock, get up, like have some breakfast. By 9:30, I was back in bed sleeping. I'm like, there's nothing to fucking do. No one's awake. Nothing's open. Like, I'm like, what am I gonna do right now? That's so fucking important.
Well,
I'm like, no.
You ate, and then in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, you're gonna take a shit, and then you go back to bed, and then be like, why did I do this?
Yeah, why did I just interrupt my sleep when I could have just been sleeping this whole time? Like, Jesus Christ, it's just like you would always bitch at me about that. Like, why don't you get out of bed and do something? I'm like what? I'm like, I'm not a fucking senior citizen. Like, I don't need to get to Old Country Kitchen Buffet before they stop serving breakfast. Like, just not my thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, you'll probably get into a car
accident. Not that my dad's a senior citizen, but yeah, I'm not trying to kill people on the road unnecessarily.
Yeah, we've all seen Grey Dawn.
I just watched that episode like yesterday.
It's a classic. Oh, God.
So good.
Spawned by the fact that, like, at least 2 elderly drivers plowed into farmers markets.
Like, within a week of each other, I think.
Yeah, it happened real close.
They were, like, right on the heels of each other. We're like, Jesus Christ! Like,
and yes, that was still when they were cranking out the episodes, like, they can make it within a day of, news changing. If they needed.
Yeah, they can add scenes.
They still have the capabilities. They're just on a lighter schedule now.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm still surprised we haven't gotten an announcement for a special for the spring. Like, I know the new season starts in July, but
yeah, and they showed
for sure we would have like an April-May special.
At least, like, maybe like a 45-minute to
like
hour episode,
like one of the hour specials they did, or hour and a half specials,
to maybe lead into it, to like, oh, this is going to be kind of like the setup for the events going forward. I kind of do like not knowing what the fuck they're going to do, other than the random shots that they showed us, which I'm sure. I mean, based on what I saw of it, it looks ridiculous, and I have no idea where they're going with any of it. But that's what I like about it.
That's the one thing I think we've learned about South Park is you can look at the preview for the episode, and they'll show you that one clip, and you think you got an idea where the episode's going, and then you watch the episode, and you're like, oh wow, no, that went way different than I thought it was going to.
Yeah,
because they never tip their hand in the preview. So like you can see like Diddy chasing him around in space with Starvin' Martin.
Yeah. But why? Guess what? You figure it out.
Yeah, whatever you think is coming, I can almost guarantee you is not it.
Because even back in the day, like watching it like every week with my college buddies while I was on campus, it was our ritual to get high, watch that, and Chappelle Show as they release new episodes on Wednesdays.
The glory years.
The best. And, example, here's like a teaser trailer for the next episode in it. Just as an example, I don't think it came out when I was in college still, but the anime one, where they're... Where Butters...
Good Times with Weapons.
Yes, Good Times with Weapons. You saw, like, little clips of it as a commercial, like, oh, here's the next episode on Comedy Central. Mm-hmm. And that's all you have to go based on it. That episode goes so many different directions. and you probably didn't think of where it was going to end up organically on your own. Like,
No, not at all. Like the fact that Cartman gets naked and like walks across the stage, and that's what everybody's pissed off about, not them fucking taking Butter's eye out with a ninja throwing star.
And then dressing him as a dog and trying to pass him off as an injured
like
dog.
Butter, I love Butters just walking around going, what? What? He's just going to stop sticking his feet.
I'll say it right. Butters is goated.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Butters,
just like Randy.
Butters and Randy became like two of the like main, like the big six, if you will. Like I would say probably like right around that time, like when Good Times with Weapons came out, and like Randy maybe even a little earlier. I think we were on, me and my brother and one of my brother's buddies were on the Randy train a lot sooner than everybody else, I feel.
Same. I've always loved him. And they hinted at being ridiculous, and he didn't fully get too ridiculous until probably a little bit before the Bat Dad. I'm struggling to think chronologically.
Yeah.
Before then, he was always there, but him being like, "Oh wait, no, let's do it a little. Let's dive a little bit deeper into Randy and show how he's kind of a fucking idiot." Like,
yeah, he's just a dumb redneck. Like that's exactly what he is. Like I'm trying to think like if because Bad Dad was like early mid 2000s. That was like 05, 06, I think.
Yeah, so that sounds about right to me.
So it would have been, because I'm trying to think, like, the Obama episode was obviously 08 when he just gets drunk and tells his boss to go fuck himself because change. And then he wakes up the next day and he's like, oh, fuck, I said to go to work.
That son of a bitch lied to me.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Randy, like, started taking on his own. I want to say it was like, I don't know, I think it was like, you're right. It's tough to, like, place it chronologically because they all run together.
And I don't follow it like I used to, which I was like a rabid fan, and as soon as it's coming out, used to buy the DVD sets and everything. Times have changed in that regard, and it's
right. It was definitely more like I want to say it was like I was just say the Clubhouse episode when him and Cheryl when Sharon get to like break up, and then like she marries she starts dating that guy Roy.
Yeah, I guess you could say that's when he starts to develop more outside of just being Stan's dad, who's kind of an idiot.
Yeah, and then there was the fucking like the Jack Officer episode was but it was spontaneous combustion.
Yeah, because Jack Officer was like season 1 or 2, like that was early.
Jack Officer was season 3.
3, yeah.
So that was episode 4, season 3. But spontaneous combustion was like, that was when it was like they tasked him with like trying to solve like why everybody's spontaneously combusting, and you just have those fantasies where he's like, we love you, Randy, make love to me, Randy.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, like thinking of he's gonna be the big hero, and then he ends up being like everybody hates him and someone just chucks a rock at him.
Yeah. Well, although I mean, even around that era, yeah, I guess you could say when he was in the boy band, that kind of
Finger Bang was definitely, I think that was season 4.
Because, Finger Bang was the boys' group, but
right.
They only started it because Stan found out that his dad was...
Right, it was the episode was Something You Do With Your Finger. Was what it was called.
But I don't remember the name of the band, the group that he was in, but I remember it was You've Got It. You Have Got It. Was like...
Yeah, it was like the shittiest song ever. Yeah, it was season 4, episode 8. Was that one. But then there was, before that, though, there was the two guys naked in a hot tub.
Yeah. I mean, so they didn't lean into Randy having his own subplots until later.
And then the red badge of gayness was so good.
Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Such a good episode.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I got to, probably this week.
You and I could probably do like a whole series of podcasts just on South Park, so...
Probably. And don't think that I forgot that we tied on row 1, seat 1 in the
trivia.
I know.
You were the only person to not lose to me in South Park trivia.
That was at the beginning of COVID, so I didn't get my gift card to the sale.
Because sale off closed and they sold the place. Now they don't exist anymore. Now it's like I could get you the $25 gift card. It might only get you a beer, but
dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
Really, it's the bragging rights that I tied you that matters. Going on 5 years now.
I told Sean, I was like, you need to come up like after that. I was like, you need to do like a closest guess answer. You know what I mean? Like, how many times did they say shit in the shit episode, which is like always like everybody's go-to answer, but something along those lines.
Well, that one's. I mean, all you have to do is go back to the episode and look at the counter because they do display it on screen.
Yeah, it was 162.
I thought it was more than that.
Nah, 162.
That's still a lot though for a 20 after commercials, like a 22-minute.
It was almost going to be 163 when Stan was like. Yeah, and then we're just not gonna say shit. Poop. Like when they kill Kenny. And he's like,
yeah.
Poop. And they all like, aw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they all do that shit.
I miss doing the South Park trivia, because I remember it started, I was doing them at, like, lunch. Like, I would go out with, like, my parents for, like, lunch and stuff, and we would do, like Paul would quiz me on South Park stuff, and I couldn't...
That's kind of how it started.
Couldn't get them wrong, and we started doing them on the show. And then, yeah, it just kind of took off from there. And then I started writing South Park trivia for a little while. And but I was like, well, this isn't fun because there's really nobody to take these. So I started doing one. Then I like emailed some kid on Reddit. He put one up, and I got 99 out of 100 right. And I was like, what? I was like, no, that's not true. And
you're like, no,
I was like,
you felt like you got more wrong than that. You were like,
yeah, no, I was pissed because I was like, what did I get wrong? And I went and looked it up. I forget what it was, but it turned out I was right. His question was wrong, or his answer to the question was wrong.
Okay,
and I emailed it, and like I emailed the like thing on the quiz, and they were like, "Holy shit, good catch, thanks, man," and they changed it. It's like,
give me 1 second. I just gotta go in my other room. I'll be right back. Literally,
like take your time.
2 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I'm just looking at South Park. I'm looking for the what fucking episode was I just looking for?
All right, maybe not literally 2, but give me 5.
Yeah, 5, 2. It's like everybody says, I'm only gonna take 5 minutes. We all know nothing takes 5 minutes, asshole.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Depends if you know the person well enough and you know what their concept of time means.
Yeah.
Like these people are like, I can't adhere to a normal job because I have what's called time blindness.
Yeah. Is that a new special ed fucking?
I first heard about it a few years ago, but apparently it's a thing. Time blindness is like the very layman's way of like. There's an actual name for it, but no, bitch, you're fucking lazy. You don't.
Yeah.
You can't just be reliable. That's what it means to me. Oh, but I lost track of it. I have ADHD. My mind is everywhere all at once. It just like that fucking movie. It's constantly just dogs barking in my head 24/7. That's why I have to take sleep medication. It's just chaos.
It's just chaos constantly in my head.
I still keep my fucking home clean. I still go to work on time. I'm usually the first one there every day. I do my job and then I fucking leave and then I get to just fuck off when I get home. Yeah. But even then I'm still doing something. So it's
right. Even though it feels like I got 2 monkeys fighting over a football in my head,
Yeah. Yep. That's a great way to put it as well.
Yeah. Or as Tim from Days of Thunder would say, a monkey fucking a football. So equally as hilarious and also probably equally as obnoxious to have going on within your cranium.
Well, it has to be a Nerf football because they're easily hollowed out and they're, strong yet supple.
Very supple.
Firm, but, the innards are smooth and...
Smooth and soft.
I'm totally not talking about how I created the fleshlight back in 1989 when I was...
So anyway, you guys ever heard of a fleshlight? Oh boy, let me tell you.
Like Back to the Future. Hey, cousin!
Put some gel in here, microwave it for about 15 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, cousin, I found the masturbatory device you've been looking for. Listen to this, and then
check it out.
Go up on stage. Well, you might not understand it, but your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah. Is this the sound you've been looking for?
Yeah, it's the sound of you fucking in an inanimate object that you MacGyvered into being a artificial vagina.
And get off your fucking high horse. You all know you want to.
We all did it.
Stop judging me.
Oh, it's like we as millennials. I know you're not like a weed smoker, but for me back in the day, using old like just a can to make a pipe out of, or an apple, or a Montezuma tequila thing. We had to do that in the woods at like Cushman School, and now Gen Z can just bust out a pen in the middle of a Target and take a rip. And it's
bro.
like
They get their little Benjamin Franklins, and they're just getting high anywhere. And you're like,
hey, I got mine,
bro.
I got mine. Because it is
mean,
convenient.
It's extremely convenient. I get it.
It's super easy.
It's almost like.
But even then, I'm not doing it in a store.
I mean, may as well. It's not like you can detect it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've done it in bathroom, but not like right out in the middle inside an enclosed area, like outside. Oh, fuck you! I'm in a public space.
Oh man, I know.
Eat my ass! I'm hitting this thing till I die. Like,
I know so many people that have just been like in the middle of like Target and just be like, and just yep.
No, I wouldn't do it there.
So many people.
I at least have a base level of decorum that I'm adhering to.
You're one of the few, because I don't know, man. I get it though. Like, if I could, and that was my thing, I would too. Like, I wouldn't be slowing down for nothing. At that point, like, you've basically given me carte blanche to just get lit wherever I want.
I mean, it is there, and everything's so potent now. It's fucking
dude. Trust me, I know. Some of the shit that some of these people have, like, and like even my friends that do smoke, like I don't smoke at all. Like, I'm not a weed guy. I was at like one point briefly, like in high school. Never to the point of like actually like I wouldn't say I ever got like accustomed to it. Like every time I smoked, I got really high. It was really funny. But it was like something I did on the weekends when I was like hanging out with my buddies and we were at a campfire and there was nothing else to do. Like, or we didn't have
somebody
anything else to do. Yeah, somebody had it. But it was cool because like, well, you could still drive home. Technically, you're not, drinking, so you can still drive home. So I wouldn't get yelled at, for being home late or anything. But like, we used to have to like keep dryer sheets in the glove box, trying to wipe the smell off of us. And then looking back at it now, like either my parents were so desensitized to it that they didn't smell it on me because they smoked so much of it without me really knowing it at the time, or they just didn't give a fuck and didn't say anything because they were like, whatever, dude. Like, okay, you're real fucking slick. You really think we didn't notice? Like, but like, I didn't realize too. Like, if you smoke weed, like, it really like the smell like goes off of you pretty quick.
Well,
if you're not in a confined area, like if you're not in the open.
Yes. But also, the more you smoke, the more your sense of smell is desensitized in general, regardless of what you're smoking. So you're not really smelling yourself the way others are.
No. Like whenever somebody like smokes weed, I'll be like, ooh, you just roasted one down. I'm like, what? You smell that? Like,
yeah,
dude, fucking reek.
Dude, you walked out of a car and it looked like the door opening to the Mystery Machine. Like, it was just a huge cloud. Like, I expected you to be dressed as Shaggy with a giant sandwich.
For real, though.
Talking to your imaginary friend, Scoob.
Like, I know, like, people, like, some people I know, like, they still smoke, like, they'll smoke blunts. And, like,
yeah, I mean, I used to do that, but...
Which is fine, but, like, the smell is so pungent.
Yes, and that really depends on what type of blunt you're using. Are you using a wrap? Is it a cigar, a hollowed-out cigar? Or a broken-up cigar? Like, us, it was, like, usually Garcia Vegas and Dutch Masters and...
Yeah, Dutch is one of most of the people I know.
Yeah, because they had a bigger diameter.
Yeah.
Whereas the Garcias, they had the it's the green leaf.
That's one of my buddies used to say. We smoke Harambe fingers.
And that's another. We'll get to that topic shortly. We're going off on a tangent right here about a number of things.
South Park and weed, but hey, you know what? It's good topics, you know. Like
they go hand in hand.
Like I don't smoke much, especially now. But like the people that I do know that do smoke, like, and I'll watch them, like people that I know that have been smoking since. Well, let's see. We're gonna be almost 25 years out of high school now. People I know that have been smoking since high school, so call it like 25, 30 years, will take like one rip off of these pens, and they'll be like, whoa, like blitzed, like holy shit, like.
Well, they probably are like me, because I started around the same time. Didn't get like super into it like heavily until high school, but once I got into high school and with a certain group of friends, we were smoking so much, we were doing it as if we might eventually win something. Based on volume. Like, oh, if we just keep doing, like, just bought Gibbs's Basement, we're playing Nitrous Oxide on PS1, we're listening to, like, Incubus Science album.
Yep.
And it was just like, that, like,
oh man,
that was
I
it.
remember like going out to like Frank's house like after school like some days and just like and we had like bongs that we built and then gave them names.
Absolutely. Oh,
you know, like we had the one that was we built one out of like metal pipes called it Steely Dan.
Nice.
And then I forget what the other one. There was Munchie, Steely Dan. I'm trying to remember the other ones. There was like 4 or 5 of them, but they were all like hilariously named because like our groups of friends, we had similar interest in our groups of friends because obviously we've been friends and stayed friends and so on. But like we always had the same, we always had similar interests. Like everything, you know, we all watched South Park, The Simpsons.
Same sense of humor, yeah.
Yeah, gaming people. Like we all had the same sense of humor and like, but they were just so aptly named. It was so fucking funny because like the group that we had was just like, I swear to God, dude, we were all professional comedians. We just didn't realize it yet.
Well, yeah, Kill Tony didn't exist yet, and we were just riffing on each other, basically.
And boy, did we.
I mean, shit, our generation's probably bred like some of the most prominent roast comics.
Yeah, probably. I mean, think of the most savage ones, you know?
I mean, there's, you know, a generation before us, and even you can go further back than that to Don Rickles, like the god of roast comedy. You go further, but to make it like an everyday, like to normalize it in the sense like, no, this is how you talk to your friends. Like I remember, like being in my early 20s and just shooting the shit with my friends at a bar, and then have strangers approach us later and be like, "I thought you guys were about to get into a fight. Like the way you talk to each other is just, why are you doing that?" And it's always an older, and I'm like, "That's just how we talk."
Yeah, right. Like, no, this is just us, dude.
Yeah, I called him a fag no less than 30 times within like 2 minutes. And
it's like the homeschooled episode from South Park, and the kid's like, "Oh my, are you two enemies?"
Yeah.
What? No. This is how we talk to each other, dude. What, really? You guys seem like you're really mad at each other. We're like, no, just being a fag.
Yeah. Now you are too.
Yeah, now you are too, you fag. And we're like, oh no.
It's exactly like that, but
fuck Cotswolds.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. It can all be traced. It can all be traced back to what we watched, how we consumed it back then.
Oh, dude,
you know, shows were more of an event because now everything's streaming, so it's just like, oh, you watch it at your leisure.
Right.
But this is before you had to have watched it then or a rerun.
See, for me, South Park, like when South Park comes on Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock, like I'm there. I'm in front of my TV.
Yes, that's how I
was. I'm waiting through commercials. Like that's how much I'm watching this.
Yeah, because then I can reference it tomorrow when I'm talking to my friends about the episode, and if one of the guys didn't watch it, guess what? They're a fag.
Yep. It's not my rules, just the way of the world, man.
Oh, you didn't watch it? Yeah, that's the way of life. We
don't make the rules, but we just play by them. Sorry.
Exactly. And speaking of rules and playing by them.
Yes.
The Karen Reed retrial.
Yes. So we've been needing to talk about this kind of at length now for a couple of weeks. We talked about it, I think, 2 weeks ago. We got into it.
Just as it started. Like the jury was selected. There had the one. Now, I haven't been following it as fervently as I should for the show. So you could probably fill me in since where I last left off, which was about a week and a half ago, where the big revelation was that one woman admitted that she lied to the grand jury about her statements.
So was that Jen McCabe that did that?
I
I
believe
can't remember. I think it was her that she. Yeah. So basically, from what I've gathered, from what I've seen of it, so far, and I don't know if we touched on this before, like a couple weeks ago. So just let me know if I'm repeating myself or not. But
Go right ahead.
basically, the way I feel like this is they've shifted the defense has shifted its attack. The first trial, it was basically like there was a finger pointing game that was going on. They were like, okay, well, Karen Reed did it, and they're like, well, how could we have done it if this woman's, Googled, how long does it take to die in snow, and this happened, and this happened, all these things happened, and they were like, well, they did it. Now the defense has shifted from rather than just like trying to like place blame on the Alberts and the McCabe's or whoever was there. They're just trying to discredit them, which is what they should have done the first time. But it was like so it was almost so ridiculous. I think they got caught up in their own like, wait, this can't be real. Like no one with half a brain can possibly be buying this bullshit. Like look, they clearly did it. But that was the problem that they had the first shot. Was it wasn't so much like okay. We know Karen. They were trying to prove that, like, they were trying to pin it on like the Alberts and the McCabe's rather than saying Karen Reed didn't do it. You know what I mean? So now the focus is stuck to Karen Reed didn't do it. And Jen McCabe's testimony the other day was one of the most infuriating things I've ever heard in my entire life. A, because she was just lying through her teeth. B, she's completely changing like her answers from the last time. And yes. The way the defense has posed the questions has been absolutely outstanding because they're like, oh, well, you said this at this point. Like, well, that was a year ago. It's like, yeah, but you swore it under oath. Like, you said this under oath. So like,
you're admitting to perjury right now.
Yeah, are you perjuring yourself, or were you lying then, or are you lying now? Like,
stop perjuring yourself. Stop perjuring.
Yeah. I am Lionel Hutz. It's been fascinating to watch because like they even like the prosecution, they had the crash expert, the one I don't know what his real name is. They call him Crash Daddy because apparently he's a very handsome forensic guy whose specialty is in motor vehicle.
And of course, that's what the female true crime community labeled him, Crash Daddy, like because they're out of ideas.
Right. I mean, hey, listen, the shoe fits, all right. He is a handsome motherfucker. I'll give him that. But even like the prosecution, when they were like they had him on the stand, they were basically accusing him of working for and with the defense. And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You guys had the same. You guys had the same access to me as anybody in this room did. All you had to do was pick up the phone and call. You did. They did. Like, oh, so you are advocating for the defense?" He goes, "No, I'm advocating for the science and the work that I do." Like,
yeah, you're cross-examining me right now on the stand, but you didn't ask for my
you didn't ask for my expertise. Yeah, like you didn't ask for it. You could have had it. I mean, it would have, obviously, but we know why you didn't ask me because it would have been detrimental to your case. So, like,
because my findings, go against your
accusations, right? And
accusations, yeah.
So they have all these witnesses coming forward now, and like everybody's like all the witnesses are just getting like tripped up. All the people that are saying Karen Reed did it, the Alberts and McCabe's, like everybody they're bringing to the stand. They just keep tripping over their words, and every day there's like new TikTok videos or Twitter videos, whatever, of like this is what this one said last year, and now look at how they're changing it, and look at it, and it's been. I mean, honestly, it's been a whole lot to really do with nothing, in my opinion, because again, to me the crime here is there's two crimes here. One, John O'Keefe is dead and somebody killed him. Two. That this is going to a second trial. Like this is absolutely absurd. Like we already know Karen Reed didn't do it. Get like why are we wasting our time with proving that she didn't do it a second time when we should be trying to figure out who did?
Yeah, and I agree with that because I am fully on board for believing that she didn't do it, at least didn't do it intentionally, and everything else that's happened after that incident, there's just no clear answer right now as to who did or exactly why. And there's plenty of motive on one side and means to cover it up, while on the other side there isn't, that being Karen Reed's.
Right.
She simply doesn't have the resources and connections the way these other people did. At the end of the day, I am a supporter of hers in her being innocent, but at the same time, I'm not one of these rabid Karen Reed followers who are basically like a cult at this point. It's
a bunch of
absurd.
dudes trying to simp out for her.
It's that, but it's also a shitload of middle-aged women. Also,
Yeah.
who don't know where their underwears are and have been drinking wine since 2.
Oh my god, dude. Jen McCabe's fucking Boston accent makes me want to strangle somebody. It makes me want to hit her with a car.
It's such a funny thing to look outside, like, because as I've stated before, I listen to a lot of other true crime content. My favorite one of which they finally did touch upon this, because usually they follow small cases. Literally the name of one of the most popular shows that they do is Small Town Murder. It focuses on smaller cases, not nationally known, but on their Patreon they'll talk about, like, now they're talking about Lori Daybell and her second trial that just ended. Then they started touching up on Karen Reed. And neither of these guys are from this region, and so they have their very outside opinion on it.
Right.
And they recently just got so much backlash by people. They didn't specify where they're from, but they were like, I've been a Patreon subscriber for years, and I pay for all your extra stuff, and I go to your live shows. I'm never going again because you didn't agree with me. And they didn't say Karen Reed is innocent or guilty. They said, and this is my stance on it, none of us know what the fuck actually happened. So this is probably looking like it's going to be tossed out again, because there's not enough reasonable doubt.
That's the thing, and I don't believe. Like, I don't believe that she did it. Like, I've seen enough evidence to see that, like...
I don't believe she did it intentionally.
I don't even
but then again, somebody getting hit...
I don't even need to add that caveat to it, because there's so much evidence proving that not only did she not do it, but that he was killed inside that house and then tossed out on the front lawn. Like they're just based on the Turtle Boy threads from like 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Like and to me, there's two types of people that think Karen Reed did it. There's one, they're either bootlickers for the cops, or two, they hate Turtle Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And they just see Turtle Boy as being a pro Karen Reed person. They're like, oh, fuck him. She must have done it. And they'll convince themselves that they did it. So, like, this tweet from Alex Berenson, who I don't know if you know who he is. He's an author.
He's got some echo going on, Joey. Apparently,
I do.
Yeah.
Well, weird. I mean, I only have one mic, so.
Well, same. Let me see if I can mitigate that.
It's probably. I'm gonna. Hold on. Do I have anything unmuted?
Didn't mean to derail you there. It's just, I just saw it in the comments. Our friend from row 1, seat 1, Sean, brought that up.
I don't know where it's coming from. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can.
Sometimes if I have it open somewhere else. Did it just start, or has it been going on the whole time?
Well, we just started getting comments about it. Yeah, Sean said it sounds like it's in stadium mode.
Yeah, no, I can hear it now.
And then I just got home, crying, laughing emoji.
Hang on, let me see if I can change some stuff up. Hold on.
All right, until then, folks, what are your thoughts on the Karen Reed situation? Like, again, I do believe she's innocent. uh, just based on the lack of, irrefutable doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt. Christopher, stellar comment. That's funny, but I do enjoy talking to Joey and listening to him talk. He's good at it. He's figured that shit out. He's been doing it long enough, so he gets a pass. But also, I can't hear the echo, and I'm the one hosting this and everything, so I should be able to if it's on my end. But since I can't, it must be on his. Let me see. Have you figured it out yet?
I think I figured it out. I'm only gonna see.
All right. Well, Sean says, I feel like I have no dog in the race, but I have legitimately no scientific evidence showing that she hit him. Because as you were away there for a little bit, I asked for the audience's feedback on where they stand, and that's kind of where I stand too. Scientifically, it doesn't show either way.
Yeah, there we go.
It's just evidence.
Okay.
There it is. Evidence-wise, it looks worse on the police force, to me.
Got it. All right.
Yep, you nailed it, I guess.
Yep.
So, evidence-wise, to me, it seems like the police had a hand in, planting things at a certain time, mainly the glass, and then how they took in the blood samples in Solo cups. Red Solo cups. Toby Keith would be proud. God rest his soul.
Let me know if it comes. Let me know if the echo comes back. You guys in the chat, because I think I got it, but I'm not positive if it stayed or if I'm doing one thing or another. But either way, I can figure it out. But just let me know.
But yeah, the police handled work of that is so sloppy. But there's nothing directly tying them to it, and there's nothing directly tying her to it other than her dropping him off. I see this going the same way as the first trial. This is going to get tossed out. But what comes out of it is what's interesting, because, well, then they do a deep dive, actually get like internal affairs involved within the BPD.
That's exactly the thing that I'm getting at. Is like, okay, like I know Karen Reed didn't do it. Like I know that's for a fact. It's like I was saying before I got this derailed there with my echoing shit. Like, going back like 2-3 years to all the Turtle Boy threads that had been coming out that I had been following. Like my wife and I had been following along with them the entire time.
What'd you do?
There's just no fucking way, dude. Like you're grasping at straws here. And to your point about people from out of the area not really knowing what it was, this Alex Berenson, he's like a right-wing Substack guy. He's an author. He basically called the cat. He said he called the Karen and Reed case an open shut case, and accused Turtle Boy of being a fake sleuth, with a highly quote unquote highly open and shut case. And he basically says, so you can go for a worldwide police conspiracy against the most basic white girl ever, or you can think she got drunk and mad at her boyfriend and ran him over. How hard is this? Now, while I get that is like that's like Occam's razor, what's more likely?
Yeah, like, whatever is the most obvious.
The most obvious and simple answer is usually the one, right?
Typically.
Like the keep it simple, stupid thought process.
Yes.
Do we think that this bitch was mad at her boyfriend and drunk and hit him with a car and killed him, or do we think he got killed in this house, and now that there's like a 3-agency cover up? That motive trying to keep them from getting in trouble.
Yes, that motive is plausible, but the evidence.
But yeah, there's no evidence to support it. And again, Alex Berenson being, not from around here, not from the area, not having paid any attention to the details of the case at all, clearly, because if you had been paying attention, if you knew about, the puncture wounds in his forearm that are very consistent with a canine, aka a German Shepherd, which they had, the getting rid of the pool was demolished, the floor was ripped up in the basement where his Apple Watch shows the data of him ascending and descending flights of stairs like 3 or 4 times over a short period of time. The data on his watch and phone don't indicate that he was out in the cold for as long as they claim that he was, or long enough for him to die from it.
Exactly.
Like, all these little things just start adding up, and you're like, no, okay, like so basically what you're saying is like you fabricated this story that she hit him with the car, and you're basing this your whole story hinges upon Jen McCabe saying, I heard her say, I hit him 3 times. When everyone else testifies said she was questioning, did I hit him? Did I hit him?
I mean, in the documentary, you can see her saying, did I hit him? What if I hit him? As they're carting off his body on the scene.
And Jen McCabe is basically saying, like, okay, well, that's it. That's all the evidence I need. And the defense lawyer yesterday or the day before said, he's like, oh, he like pinned her down. He's like, oh, so you had it all solved right then and there, huh? You solved the case, open and shut, just like that. And she's like, well, no, with her stupid fucking accent and whatever. Like, oh my God, I can't fuck it. It's like nails on a fucking chalkboard to me. And she's like sitting there, well, and she's like trying to like skirt around it, and she doesn't. And then of course there's like, the Google searches of how long does it take to die in the cold? The 40-second, the multiple phone calls between like Brian Albert and the other McCabe guy there, that, I butt dialed him. They're like 7 times back and forth. Like, you butt dialed him, then he butt dialed you 7 consecutive times. And
that's not how butt dials happen.
Yeah, and not one of them went to voicemail. Like, no, that's not adding up, bro. Like, and then you brought your phones like to like down to fucking to some place down on Otis Air Force Base and had them wiped, like had the data professionally wiped by somebody. Like,
and that's going to take me to the comments. I'd like to get back into that right now because it is relevant to what you're saying. After Chris Resendy said he's good, no more Echo. He said, FBI said he wasn't run over. Case closed. Sean then chimed in with, the family sold the house below market value, killed the dog, and then pretended like nothing happened. I do believe they rehomed the dog, although who knows if that's true.
The dog was sent off to a happier place.
Yeah, he's going to go live on a farm.
Yeah, he's going to live on a farm.
And then he said, Jim McCabe searching, quote, how's long to die in the cold.
She got the W, right.
Well, HOS, Sean actually typed it accurately.
She got the W and how.
And then and husband and butt dialing on the other multiple. So he just touched on. Well, just as you were saying it, basically, he was saying the same thing. So
this is all, and again, this is all stuff that like, and here's what kills me about this is like, and again, like I know. It's not up to everybody doesn't know everything about everything all the time.
Yeah, none of us will know.
But at the same time, I've known I've known about the puncture wounds, about the floor being ripped up, the house being sold, the pool being pushed over, the butt dialing, the Google searches. Like, I've known all about that since long before this went to trial the first time, because I was paying attention to Turtle Boy when he was breaking it. And he was on Jerry Callahan's podcast a lot at the time, which I listened to daily. And so I've been like, I'm not saying like I was ahead of the curve on this, but I've been way ahead of it. So now all these like kind of Johnny come lately people that start chiming in now that it's gained the national notoriety a little bit, piss me the fuck off, because they're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. You really think this is some big police conspiracy? Yeah. I do.
Do you know how corrupt BPD is? Like, it has been since its inception. Like,
bro, go listen to the Snitch City podcast, and like, you're hearing names of guys you know, for Christ's sakes. You're like, oh shit! Like
Do you guys forget that we had
gym.
one of the biggest fucking most wanted FBI people in the history of its existence, originating from Boston, because Whitey Bulger, like, and granted, his time came and went, when we were in our 20s, basically, but he was still on the lam for another 2 decades, give or take, and he wasn't even the guy who started it all there. Everything was, again, since the BPD's inception.
I mean, listen, you have a big
it has
enough
been
force,
corrupt.
If you have a big enough like group of people that are dealing like with criminal activity and criminal, like, again, you can't expect. It's like, I always use the HOA as an example, right? If you live in an HOA, right? You live in an HOA, dude. You can give the nicest, sweetest lady the authority over the HOA, and in 6 months, dude, she's going to be out in front of your house with a fucking measuring tape, checking to see if your trash barrels are too far from the curb.
Oh, you can't keep them in your driveway because, it takes away from the aesthetic of the neighborhood.
Yeah. Like, like all of a sudden, like, these people become fucking living, breathing tyrants because you give them a little bit of power and a little bit of authority.
It's the hall monitor effect. It's
exactly, dude. And what do you think happens when you give some kid who barely scraped by in high school? And listen, this is no disrespect to my brothers in blue that, listen, same team, bro, same team. I get it. But listen, and anybody in law enforcement who's being dead ass honest with you will tell you, we don't exactly recruit the best and the brightest or the most high character people. We like to think that they are, and they're held to a higher standard, but that's just what we tell the public so that when we fuck up, they don't sue the shit out of us every single time.
Mm-hmm. So, and I agree with that, and that's somebody with many friends and family members also in law enforcement. So, but they are all, great at their job. But
listen,
yes,
you could be great at your job, and that's all fine and well. You could still be an absolute piece of shit behind the scenes.
Yes.
Like, I mean, there was one of the Snitch City things, and I couldn't believe it. One of the Snitch City episodes, I think it was the first one, was talking about a New Bedford cop who I used to see at my gym every day, would go down to the docks in uniform, off the clock, but in uniform, and shake down fishermen and take their drugs and their money and then just leave. like you can't do that. But
and he's not taking any of that into evidence either.
No, it was all staying with him, and you sell the drugs and keep the money and make more money off the sold drugs. Like, what the fuck? Like, dude, and that's just a very small example. So, to your point, yeah, BPD has not exactly been known for its, walking the straight and narrow. I mean, trust me, I work with convicted criminals all day, every day. The stories they tell you, a lot of times you listen to a guy who's in prison and it's like they're all innocent, they didn't do it. They were framed, blah, blah, blah. They got pulled over for being black on a Friday night. And, they rolled through a stop sign and had a roach in their cup holder, and the judge threw the book at them. Yep. And it's like, well, what about the 6 Tech 9s, the fully automatic weapons, the grams of heroin and fentanyl that you had, and
what was all that for?
Oh, and the underage female they found bound and gagged in your trunk too. Like, what was all that about? Like, that was just because you rolled through a stop sign? Like, I don't think so, bro. But there are some things, like, now the more you hear about shit like this and you see it with the Karen Reed and the Snitch City podcast and everything else, now, like, you hear those guys' stories and you're almost inclined to be like, I don't believe you, but you might not be completely bullshitting me.
Yeah, I get that. And yeah, I've followed Turtle Boy here and there. I'm not like a huge
I've been a Turtle Rider for a long time.
I think what he does is great. I respect him. I know he has those past allegations against him. I don't believe him because I really don't know enough about it. And honestly, those are just allegations. He was never convicted of anything.
They tried to, but they couldn't.
No, they tried, but just like any truth sayer, people will go after them any way they can.
Well, it's like if you needed any other proof too, it's like they put Turtle Boy in jail for 30 days over some bullshit made up.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that at all.
Abuse charges from an ex-girlfriend or something. Like, that held no water, no weight, and they put him in county jail for 30 days. Like, you really think that if he wasn't, like, they always say, like,
influential?
yeah, they say that the flak is always the heaviest when you're over the target.
Yes.
Well, yeah, there you go. Like, I mean, everything that is happening with this Karen Reed case is pointing to a major. Like, do I think they tried? Yes. And then they use their power, their influence, and their connections to try to get out of it. And they just so happen to have an angry girlfriend who was fighting with her boyfriend a couple hours beforehand, who just happened to be having a couple of drinks,
Easy
and they probably figured, "Hey, man, we got ourselves a nice little layup here."
That's why I think the whole prosecution's argument towards, well, why would they kill him in their own home and then dump him on the front lawn? Isn't that stupid? And it's like, yes, that's exactly why they would do that. Because these are cops. They know how investigations work. And that is fucking stupid. It's just so stupid, it might work if we have a plausible enough scapegoat and can produce evidence to support that defense. That's what I'm getting at when it comes to this whole thing. It leans more looking bad on them than it does on Karen in the long run, because she doesn't have the means to, come up with this kind of cover up, or it just doesn't see. It's not beyond within a reasonable doubt. Oh, lost you there, Joey. I'm trying to get you back. Oh, there.
Back?
There you go. All right, got you back.
Okay. Just making sure I just want to make sure there's no echo, because that really pisses me off. Nothing makes me more mad than an echoey microphone.
Oh, Sean said echo back.
No, I think my computer's taking a dump.
Oh, possibly. Yeah, you're freezing up a little bit here and there. That happens occasionally other times, but usually it's like a second.
All right. Okay, where were we?
Yeah, I believe I was just saying how it leans more into seeing more suspicious on the police and therefore prosecution side than it does being Karen Reed, and that's where I came in. There's no, in our own words for our laws, you know how we say it, fucking, where's the evidence? It's...
Yeah, prove it.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. There's not a reasonable doubt that she fucking actually did it.
No, not even close.
And there's not...
And that's
there's more reasonable doubt behind the other parties involved doing it, but there's still not any solid evidence. It's more circumstantial and, this does make more sense. So I lean to that side of believability. But there's still, at the end of the day, not enough physical evidence to actually prove them guilty. That's why I hope this at least leads to...
Not yet. And
not yet.
That's where I'm... but then again, but by now, though, I would have to believe that they've probably covered their tracks enough that unless somebody cracks and flips, that they're probably not... No one's going to go down for this.
Exactly. Because, yes, the aforementioned dog is now probably, been destroyed. The cell phones were destroyed, and admittedly so.
Yeah. The fake pieces of taillight that were admitted as evidence are probably gone.
Yep, the reverse image of the vehicle while it was impounded at the station there.
Yep.
That's when, if they did crack her, use the actual fragments from the taillight, when they could have broken it.
Yep.
and then planted it later because the timelines add up. They match up.
Right, and that's the thing too. Like there's nobody else look at all this evidence and say like, wait a minute, like this is awfully coincidental, and it's like I don't know, for a bunch of cops that seem like they have their shit together, or like they had their shit together, like going into this plan.
Yeah.
Like, did they not think anybody was going to notice that the image of the car was flipped, was mirrored when they used that?
As I was watching that documentary, that's the first thing I noticed as soon as that first frame of that footage popped up. I'm like,
and let's also not like
no, they're not usually like that. Like,
yeah. Hey, wait a minute.
It's not an ambulance. It doesn't say police backwards.
Are tied on with strings.
Yeah, but it's not like an ambulance where the letters are intentionally reversed.
Right. Yeah. I mean, last I checked, Karen Reed didn't drive an emergency vehicle where that would be necessary. So. And then let's not also gloss over one of the major facts of this whole thing too, is that the lead investigator on this case was fired.
Yep.
Fired, not resigned, not quit, fired. So
and pretty quickly too.
Yeah, like I don't know where you guys think this whole thing is, like where you're going with this whole thing, but I mean, obviously the judge doesn't think anything's going to come of it because she's been shilling out for the prosecution the whole time. I mean, they literally call her Auntie Bev. She's their go-to judge when they need a conviction for whatever reason, which is kind of crazy to me because why do you need a conviction if the evidence provides itself, the evidence is provided and it supports the case? Shouldn't the conviction just be kind of the outcome of that naturally?
Well, that means that they were, the prosecution at least were looking for a guilty verdict, obviously, and then
right.
Okay, as long as we get that, Auntie Bev will give her throw the book at her, basically.
Right, and then exactly. Make sure this guy goes away for a long time, so he can't get out and fuck with us in 5 years after we framed him or fucked him, put him through the ringer. But yeah, it's just none of this shit is adding up for me. It never has. I didn't think Karen Reed had done this from day one. I believe that to be 10,000 times more true now. And the only way, and it almost happened in the last case where, they legitimately tried to rig the jury. Like, the jury selection was such a prominent, such a major process in the last trial because they were trying to get people on the jury that were going to sympathize with O'Keefe and look at Karen Reed as some sort of fucking monster. Like, look at this drunk, privileged white bitch who thinks she can just fucking hit her boyfriend and nothing happens. It's like, no, and then it didn't work. It didn't work out. And then they tried the way they framed the convictions, like the whole jury was confused, and they intentionally left it vague so that they would be confused. They could try to rig it and persuade them to vote in the way that they wanted them to vote. Like, the whole thing was just fucked from Jump Street.
Yeah, and she's got no ass and a weird Fall River accent.
Not as weird as Jen McCabe's accent, I can promise you that.
No, that's true.
God, I fucking hate that accent. I hate Boston accents. It's one of my biggest, I fucking hate them. They just drive me nuts.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
Especially the fake ones, the Matt Damon fake ones.
How do you like them apples?
Yeah, oh, look, it's the town or the Departed again. Oh yeah, look at that. Hey, Dad, why don't you go get out of Walpole, go over to Norfolk, have some Ben and Jerry's. No one fights over
Although,
there.
You know what? Some of my favorite fake Boston accents were from The Departed. Dude,
they were brutally fake.
Dude, Martin Sheen, microprocesses.
Yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys. Can you at least get somebody from that's lived around here that kind of knows?
They did have Damon. Granted, he, goes full-blown Southie accent with that.
Yeah.
Stereotypically.
Which that pissed me off. Is way over the top, but whatever.
It's too much because he's actually from around here. I think there might have been a couple of other bit players, but none of the main cast. I don't think any of the rest of them are from around here. Obviously,
it's like that Family Guy sketch with Ben Affleck, and he looks at his watch. He's like, "Oh shit, I gotta be King Henry in 15 minutes. Hello, hello, hello. Got it. And just grabs his keys and runs out the door.
Yep,
Like,
gets a Dunkin'.
Yeah.
Smokes
like,
a cigarette, looking all frustrated. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it, what am I
Like,
doing with my life?
God, I hate my life.
I gotta get rid of J-Lo again.
Oh, my back with J-Lo again. What am I doing?
Too many taco-flavored kisses.
Oh, God. Shut up, Picante Pants.
But yeah, dude, I'm on the same page with you with this. I just want to go on the record as saying, yeah, I'm not one of these, if you don't believe that Karen Reed is innocent, you're an asshole, like, fuck you, like, I think that's too extreme. There's two extremes to everything. I believe she's innocent, but I'm not, like, being like, well, if you don't believe it, fuck you, straight up.
If you don't,
depends on your reasoning behind it, I guess.
Because the only reasoning that makes sense, if you don't believe Karen Reed is innocent, it's because you haven't been paying attention to the case. That's it. That's the only excuse of this. That's the only excuse at this point.
I'm viewing it objectively. It's just more interesting to us, I guess you could say, because of how close it's happening to home.
And it's like,
and it did gain national, attention. But
thanks
this
to Turtle
is,
Boy.
I feel, and I was a kid, granted, when the OJ trial was happening. But back then, I was like, oh yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
And now he was not proven to have done it in court, but let's not try and pretend that was done legitimately.
You want to talk about botched evidence? Like, holy shit!
Like, what are we talking? Because I was viewing it objectively. But that's how I'm viewing this one now, and as all ones that I do follow as they happen.
Fourth or fifth grade. What year did that come down? 94.
1994.
So it was the end of third grade for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of third grade.
Shit.
I remember sitting in the hallway in Cushman's school, and Miss Hyam came out and yelled down the hallway, "Not guilty!" And everybody was like, "What?"
It happened to me in sixth grade. I was in Mrs. Jones's class, and they actually announced it over like the.
All right, so then I was in fifth grade then, because that would make sense. Why I knew I was either in third or fifth grade.
Well, the murder happened the year before, like the summer before.
Right.
And then the trial ended nearly a year after that, I believe. Their bodies were found on June 12th, 94, so 2 days before my 11th birthday. And then, the trial ended in October 95. So, almost a year and a half.
Okay, so October 95, that makes sense.
16 months.
Beginning of fifth grade for me.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then.
But I remember them announcing it over the intercom. Like, the principal came on the intercom in middle school saying, "Not guilty."
And everyone's like, "What?"
I don't remember the reactions, because we're kids, and, like, my parents didn't, like, follow true, but, I mean, this was the biggest story ever up to that point, basically.
Oh, my parents were wicked into it. My mom worked in the courts, so this was like that was a big deal in my family circle. I didn't know what to think of it, because I didn't get it. Like, I just remember Judge Ito, the like chubby little Chinese guy with the glasses, was funny. And I remember, like, the glove. If the glove does not fit, you must quit.
Yeah, Joni Cochran. Yeah, of course.
Look at the monkey. Look at the little monkey. The Chewbacca comes from Endor. That does not make sense. So everything comes back to South Park. It's incredible.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm like, I asked my wife, like, how long she thinks this one's gonna drag on for. And she's like, oh, probably at least 4, 5, 6 more weeks. She's like, they have like over 100 witnesses they need to call, and they just got done with the first 2. I was like, oh god, so this is gonna be a while.
Yeah, I think
we're gonna be here for a while with this one.
think they projected this taking like 4 to 5 months, maybe.
Which is just incredible to me that we're gonna have to sit here for 4 to 5 months
and hear the same fucking shit, because it's the same, unless a bunch of them also say, "Oh no, I lied on the stand last time too." Like,
and I mean, unless there's a bunch of paid off jurors, like, there's no fucking way anybody with 3 functioning brain cells could sit there, listen to these cross examinations, and be like, "Oh yeah, Karen Reed definitely did this. No, definitely did it." Like,
Again, it comes down to reasonable doubt. Yeah,
Yeah. Right. At the end of the day, reasonable doubt is what it comes is the ultimate thing here, and there is no there is at the very least reasonable doubt that Karen Reed didn't do it.
Yeah, and at the most, the most I can see her actually being charged with anything, if she is at all, is unintentional vehicular manslaughter at best. But even there's not enough evidence to convince me of that happening either.
No, I mean, listen. I said to my dad the other day, because my dad is not very up on this story at all, and he's like, I heard something about it because like Howie Carr was talking about it or whatever, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I was like, Dad, I was like, think about it this way, I was like, how hard would it be? Like, you and I are both, me and my dad, like we both pride ourselves on being very good drivers. Like, we can handle a vehicle with the best of them, right? Like, we've done all the crazy stunt driving, dumb shit that you're not supposed to do in your own vehicle because you're probably going to wreck it. But we survived and we managed not to wreck our cars. Therefore, we are a step above the people who wrecked or got caught. Okay, got it. Right.
Experience.
I said, Dad, I said, how hard do you think it would be to drive in reverse in a snowstorm in 6 inches of snow and hit a moving, like hit a person 90 to 120 feet away from you at 35, 40 miles an hour, not hit anything else, and then just and hit him hard enough to kill him? Like, my dad's like, that would be kind of tough. Like, yeah, like, what do you, like, you hanging over the seat? Like, you can't see anything out of the rear view camera if you have one.
It's now, granted, it was a large, like, it's about a 6,000-pound vehicle, but yeah, given the conditions
curbs, mailboxes, everything else that was supposedly in between her and where he was.
And even then,
and to go fast enough to kill him.
To kill in one hit and then just drive off and be like, no, he's dead, or at least the hypothermia will get him. Ha!
Right.
Like, no.
Oh, like, haha, showed him. Like, well, yeah, you better hope he's dead. Otherwise, he's going to fucking, you're going to get arrested for fucking hitting him with a car, you dumb bitch. Like,
yeah, and then he'd be like, did I hit him? Did I hit him? And I'm not wearing any underwears.
It's just so fucking, it's so ridiculous to me to think that this could actually be, this is actually happening again. Like, we just did all this, and now we're doing it again. And that, I think, is the frustrating thing for me.
It definitely feels like deja vu. And granted, I had said this before we started, covering this. I wasn't following this at all until after the basically tossing out of the hung jury last year, or just before that. Then because I had friends at work talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, dude, you're always listening to these things about murder and blah, blah, you haven't heard about this?"
How are you not up on this?
I was like, not really. And then I was like, oh shit, no. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, this is the next big thing.
And it's happening, up the road from me, basically. Not directly, but I mean,
close enough, dude. I mean, this is
an
in
hour
our backyard,
away.
basically. Like, it's right there. So.
I mean, shit, I work in Taunton, Canton's right there.
Dude, I've done sales calls in Canton many a times. Like, I think the first visit I ever did for solar panels was in Canton. Like, I've been to that town a bunch of times.
Yep, and yeah, I mean, and I've worked in Bridgewater. I currently have to drive through there to get to work where I go now, and it's all geographically right there.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I wasn't up on it until then, but since then I've been fascinated with it. And even if I didn't live here or in close proximity to where it happened, I still think I'd be fascinated by it just because of the intrigue behind it all. And it's like, what the fuck is actually happening here? Like, none of it's adding up. Except in one direction, at least in my opinion. And again, not stating any of this is true, or I know for sure. I wasn't there. But it just doesn't seem plausible to me that
sure doesn't, bud.
It happened by her or with her vehicle.
No, it just keeps coming back down to, like you said, the reasonable doubt and the evidence that is being presented. In my opinion, it's not enough. It's not nearly enough for me to put this woman
Yeah.
in prison for 15 years.
And there's not enough to directly say it was the other people in the house involved, but there's enough missing evidence and weirdly placed later found evidence that points.
Well, see, I think there's a ton of evidence that suggests that it was the people within the house that.
Oh, I do. I'm not saying directly enough to say, oh no, you know what? No, it would have to be a whole nother trial.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, and that's what I think we mentioned this a couple weeks ago too. I think that's where people that's where I think the defense got lost the last time and kind of opened the door for this to be retried. Was that rather than just proving that Karen Reed didn't do it, they tried to prove that the Alberts and the Alberts and the McCabe's did. And it's like, well, no, they're not on trial here. You are. Like Karen Reed's on trial.
Well, that was her.
We have to remember, we're trying to prove that Karen Reed,
at the time. Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to prove that she didn't do it, not who did. Now you can cast doubt as to who may have done it.
Yeah,
but if you go too hard in the paint on that, it can backfire on you. And I think that was kind of maybe where we ended up with the last one, but
maybe they went just hard enough in the paint to sway the people that were leaning the other way into being a hung jury.
Right.
We don't know that for sure.
At this point, I don't know how you can be on a jury and not have heard about this case. But you know what I mean? You live around here. How did you not hear about it?
Yeah, I was scheduled to potentially have jury duty, granted in Taunton, a week before the jury selection was going for this, and I was talking to another friend, and they were like, well, if you were put on, the Karen Reed retrial, interview to go in beforehand, would you lie? And so you didn't know anything about it, and I was like,
I don't know shit.
What?
They're like, sir, we checked your Twitter. You've retweeted Turtle Boy 3,300 times in the last 2 years.
See, I haven't.
With the hashtag Free Karen Reed.
I would have said,
it's not me.
Burner account. Darren who?
Yeah, right? What's funny is Turtle Boy.
What'd he do?
Turtle Boy is one of my buddy colleagues, my buddy at work. He was his history teacher in high school.
No shit.
Yeah, and he's just like, and I asked him, I was like, what was he like? He goes, fucking asshole.
And you're like, this is my boy.
Yeah, and I was just like, all right, so now, that fits. That fits. He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't know. I guess he's blowing up pretty big now, this whole Karen Reed thing. So we'll see. He goes, I don't know.
He blew up before that.
He's like, I saw him at the gym a couple weeks ago. I said what's up to him, but
Oh, so he's like a Jim McGonigal, but he works out and is relevant and
I suppose so. I suppose, yeah.
Isn't a goddamn
in his second career,
abject failure.
Well, yeah. Poor Jimmy.
Oh, I don't feel bad for him.
I know. I give him his props though. He
tries.
He never shies away from a good online spat. So I've been unfriended and blocked by a lot of people for much less. So I give him that. He's got balls. I'll give him that. He's not thin-skinned.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that there's something to be said for that in this day and age.
Yes, respect on that. Absolutely, because a lesser a thinner-skinned person would have tapped out a while ago.
Oh, trust me, dude. I've been blocked by Disney adults whose entire life revolves around going to Disney twice a year without kids, and claiming that I have toxic masculinity.
I think we might be talking about one of the same people. Oh, I'm not going to bring up names, but
no, I won't put those names out there because
it's all because of a political difference.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, you have nothing constructive or of value to say about it other than just the same shit that you heard before and are now regurgitating from the liberal hive mind. Yep. So you're just saying all the same shit I've heard since 2016 all over again, except with a 2025 stamp on. And now you're throwing Elon's name into it now because it's relevant to you. But you go to Disney, you don't have any kids, and
you do have a bearded diabetes though.
And you go there multiple times a year, and that's your what are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I find Disney adults Disney adults are weird to me. That's a very weird.
They should be weird to everybody.
Yeah, like the people that go to Disney, like, listen, I get it. You want to go once, maybe twice, because it's cool and like, you know,
Like,
it's
you
a
go,
thing. Like,
if I were to go now, I would have a blast, but I wouldn't be documenting it. I wouldn't be buying souvenirs. I wouldn't be like, oh, look at me, fuck it. Like,
yeah,
I'd
like
just
I
be go
definitely
there.
don't. I definitely don't want a picture with my wife in front of the castle. Like, I definitely.
No, it's cliche and fucking lame. Like,
I mean, now that I say it, I'll probably do it because my wife wants to go. She's never been, and she's like, I'd like to go like once just to see it. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, honestly, I'm like, you'll hate it. You're like me. You hate lines. You hate people. You hate waiting around. Like, it's all it really is.
The only way you'd get me to go there now is if you can guarantee that I get to finger blast a girl on Splash Mountain and make her squirt as we're going down the peak. And I'm still calling it Splash Mountain. I know they rebranded it because apparently Splash Mountain was problematic because it was based on the Song of the South.
Oh, was it? Oh, of course it was.
Oh, yeah, Briar Rabbit. Throw me in the Briar Patch. That was the whole goddamn... And it was scary. Now it's a Princess and the Frog theme, I guess. and they made it, like, happy.
The only reason I want to go is I want to go to the Animal Kingdom because I want to see Harambe's cousin fight 100 men.
And that's where we're getting into for our final segment here, folks.
Yeah, we'll spend like 5 minutes on this. I know you're gonna get going. So
yeah, the Karen Reed thing is... We have to touch on it.
Yeah, Paul and I will bring it up tomorrow night on Row 1C1. It's going to be a slow sports night tomorrow. I mean, unless the Celtics lose this game right now, which I think they were down a second ago. But it's a slow.
Them getting past the Magic seemed like it was going to be a harder problem than the Knicks.
It's tied up with 5.5 seconds to go. Who's got the ball? That's the question. Oh, the Knicks are inbounding the ball. Knicks could get the last shot here, and we might go to overtime. They're going to try to get it to Brunson. They don't. Oh, they give it back. Puts up the shot. No. Foul. Oh, yes, that's right. It's 5 seconds of an NBA game. This could take 6 hours. But
yes, it could.
You know,
playoffs.
I'll leave it on. Yeah, I'll leave it on the side there for a second. But no, So you hadn't heard about the 100 men versus the gorilla meme thing?
No, I heard about it. I just didn't know where it originated from or why.
It was just an internet thing. That somebody posed, and then of course, and then Mr. Beast got a hold of it. Oh, Brunson missed it! Oh no! Oh, he had it. He laid it in, and he had it. It just rimmed out. Oh my God! 0.1 seconds left. I don't even know if that's left again. Yeah. This is likely going overtime. So anyway,
looks like it.
So then Mr. Beast, like I guess Mr. Beast quoted the tweet and retweeted it. Was like, "Oh, I'm looking. I'd be willing to put this to the test. Like, could we get a couple
100 able-bodied men?
Yeah, to fight to try this out. Now, apparently, so Sean has been obsessed with this because there's this story that's an urban legend of Mike Tyson years ago offering a person who worked at, I believe it was the San Diego Zoo that had a gorilla exhibit.
He wanted to fight it.
Yeah, he wanted to pay him like 10 grand to let him into the cage to fight the gorilla. Now, I don't doubt that probably was a conversation that happened.
It's Mike Tyson we're talking about here.
Yeah,
I would not put that past him at all.
No. So, I don't doubt that probably happened. But one-on-one, you are getting smoked by a gorilla.
Oh, that gorilla's ripping your arms off, even if you are Mike Tyson. Like,
yeah, like you are like a 200-pound man stands no chance against a 400-pound gorilla.
Dude, a chimp can rip your face off, and it's half the size of you. And
will like jerk off into it, like dominantly.
And he's jumping around doing backflips, playing with his balls, laughing.
Yeah, like just like fingering his own butthole, like
he's having a great time. Yeah, drinking his own piss.
Your carps, like your quarters is like Oh, 0.6 Celtics. All right, Celtics gonna get one shot here to send this game home.
Well, yeah, shit.
Tatum turn around, not even close, blocked.
Swing and a pop up.
God, I fucking hate Jason Tatum. But so apparently though, if the 100 men could get over the fear of like, okay, probably like 10 to 15 or 20 of us are going to die.
Yeah.
But there's still like an 80% chance I'll live. and we just they swarm the gorilla.
If they did
Apparently,
it,
gorillas don't have a tremendous amount of endurance. Like they're only good in short bursts because they're herbivores. All right, they don't eat meat.
They'll eat insects and like small animals.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're not hunters like big cats or wolves or anything like that.
I think if we're talking about like the evil gorillas from Congo, all right.
Well, they were like genetically manipulated.
Were they? I just thought they were just like a different breed of like some ancient, or they like
you
cursed
could be
or something.
right. Yeah, dude, it's been so long since I saw that in theaters.
It's been so long since I've been to the lost city of Zinj.
I just remember Bruce Campbell being excited to see him in the beginning of it, and he's dead within like the first
3
5
minutes.
Just gets his head clapped
I
in.
forgot Bruce Campbell was even in that.
Yep, yeah, because he barely is.
Amy, good gorilla. But no, like apparently, I looked it up, right? Like apparently, like a male silverback, like a full-grown male silverback, can bench press like 4,000 pounds. Like if it was going to, like it has the ability to do that. But apparently, and I don't know if you follow this kid on TikTok or Instagram or anything. He's this like skinny little black dude. And he does like all the he like kind of holds the mic up, like the little microphone, and like talks about animals all the time. Like he's like
I'm not on either of those platforms, but I've probably seen a clip.
I can't remember his name, but I have his book. It's like
people send me shit, so I do see things.
Yeah, like I ended up buying his book to support him because I thought he does a really good job online. And I bought his book. It's like 100 animals that could unalive you. And so he did a thing the other day, and he's like, yo, y'all are overrating the fuck out of gorillas. He's like 100 men, 100 good size, like 200, 300, like 200, 250 pound men.
It's a numbers thing. Yes, some are going to get killed.
He's like, the only way the gorilla would be able to survive that, like to beat 100 men, is if like they just came at him like 2, 3, 4 at a time. And he's like, they have the bite force of like, that's like a grizzly. And he's like, they have like, PSI-wise, they have the strength to rip your limbs out of the sockets. He's like, but he's like, even when we do the grizzly bear versus the gorilla, he's like, the grizzly bear is winning. He's like, I don't think you guys understand how powerful a fucking 1,500-pound grizzly bear is.
And those things run. Like, gorillas aren't known for their locomotion. I lost you again there. Earth to Joey.
Why we keep losing?
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know why we keep losing it tonight.
But yes, bears are not bipedal. Like no, big silverback gorillas, they often use their hands to traverse, but when they're not capable of sprinting. Their cardio isn't like a bear, and a bear is bigger than them, depending on the breed.
Like sometimes 2 to 3 times bigger than them, which is a lot when you start thinking about it. Like, I don't know if you ever like. I mean, I've never seen a grizzly alive, but I've seen them like stuffed. And man, let me tell you, like a full-grown male grizzly, like standing over you at like 10 feet tall, you're like, holy shit, that's a big goddamn fucking animal. Like, that is a large being.
Yeah, and it's like 1,300 pounds or something like that.
Dude, you're like. And it's like one swipe from that thing's fucking hand, and you're ghost. Like you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You aren't surviving, bro. So this kid goes into it and the thing, and he's like, you guys vastly overrate the gorillas. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I still think like a scared gorilla fighting for its life is. I think
it could go apeshit, literally.
We do have a term for what it could do. I mean, and it's named for that animal. And so you put a great point. But like, I feel like a scared gorilla, I feel like it's probably going to murk at least half of that crowd.
It depends how the crowd reacts. There's so many variables. But numbers-wise, I do think that 100 might be able to, in total, like at least 100.
100?
Yeah, a lot of those guys are getting killed. Or at least a good amount. Like, yeah, I'd say conservatively, like 15 to 25, maybe get killed.
I'm saying minimum 25. Because you got to figure that first wave.
Yeah, so a quarter.
it's the first wave. It's like, it's like Operation Get Behind the Dockies, right?
Yeah.
Haven't you ever heard of the Emancipation Proclamation? I don't listen to hip
I don't
hop.
listen to hip hop. Yeah.
It's like that first wave is going to get devastated, right? And then after that, you got to kind of hope like the gorilla is a little bit tuckered out, and then they can start to get a little bit, and then the second wave and third wave not so beat up.
Then it's just attrition.
Yeah. And then it's just, but you got to keep going though. Like you can't stop. Like there's not going to be any downtime in this fight, and you're going to need fresh bodies. So like I try to have to like think like, what would be the best plan of attack? Like, do we all just bum rush it at once and just try to like jump on its arms and like hold it down and like hope it doesn't like only bites a couple of us and kills us, and then we can just like kind of jump on it and suffocate it, or do like I don't know, do you send them into like 30-man waves and like distract it and like clock it in the head and like hit and run?
Are you setting up formations, or are you trying
Sucker
to
punch
do
the
it
fuck
like
out of it?
like try to do it like Little Bighorn, where he's in the center of the gorilla is in the center of the thing, and you just send people from every side all at once?
Yeah.
Just to send. Completely
just send,
outnumbered.
boys. Go in there. Good luck and Godspeed.
But yeah, stagger the release time of those units out there. Now I'm speaking strictly in like RTS terms, but
yeah,
like I play Command and Conquer. And
like, if this was Red Alert, this is how I would do it.
All right, yeah, here, send out the infantry first, get rid of it, and then you bring in your tanks, and then your anti-aircraft.
And don't forget the hovermlers.
Exactly.
Set up that artillery on that ridge.
Goddamn.
We need shock troopers. Where's my goddamn dogs and my fucking
Fucking Cave did fuck me over again.
I told him we needed more obelisks. God damn it, Kane.
I know it's a different game, but you must construct more pylons.
Yeah.
And then unit lost.
Unit lost. Like when Stewie's Darth Vader and they're talking about building the Death Star, and he's like, well, there is a little hole about 2 meters, but it's only 2 meters wide. He's like, whoa, hold on. He goes, yeah, wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask. I mean, it's very small. I mean, it's barely the size of a womp rat. Like, it's like, he's like, how much would it cost? Well, we could do this. We'll get some estimates.
Yeah, and it turns out to be the detriment, of course. That's
yes,
the joke.
Naturally, always, because when is it not?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's plausible that 100.
Oh, it's definitely plausible. Like I was actually waiting for that kid's take on it.
Well, I mean, think about it.
Because he's the only one I trust.
Primitive Neolithic human beings took down mammoths. They figured out ways to
with weapons,
but with like flint-headed weapons, essentially.
Yeah, sure, right.
But they also figured out how to track them and then corner them into places, and then kill them and learning. But I'm sure the first time they tried that, a bunch of guys got stomped and impaled by the tusks.
How are we gonna get this thing on the ground?
Because that's even bigger than a bear or a gorilla. Like that's.
Yeah, no, that's a big, but it's not I don't know if it's as aggressive either, though, or could be as aggressive. But then again, like according to this kid, he's like gorillas are like fucking afraid of their own shadow half the time.
It wasn't that long ago that we didn't think that they were a thing. They were like Sasquatch. They weren't scientifically documented until like the 1700s, 1800s.
Right.
They were just a myth of their habitat. They basically were the Sasquatch of those regions. Like it was the local legends of this giant hairy man out there, and everyone else is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And it's like, "Oh no, shit, they exist, and they are majestic creatures."
They are.
Super, and R.I.P. to Harambe.
R.I.P. Harambe.
God
but
damn
Harambe's I think Harambe's revenge would be very very lackluster.
We're nearing the 9-year anniversary of that.
I know. 2016 does not seem like it was that long ago.
It seems like it was like 4 years ago to me. Honestly.
It seems like yesterday, dude. Like I swear to God, I'm like, wait a minute, Harambe's been dead for almost a decade. That's wild.
I mean, I remember it being before COVID, obviously, but it doesn't seem like it was that far before COVID.
No, I think it was the same summer as the Pulse nightclub shooting, if I remember right. I think that was the same year. Was it either 20 or was that 2017? It was one of those two.
Yeah, I think you're not far off if you're not right with 2016 in the first place.
Yeah, I think the summer of 2016 was pretty eventful for all the wrong reasons, because Harambe died, then the Pulse nightclub shooting happened, I believe, in August. And then Maura Healey banned assault rifles that following September, if I'm not. I think that was the timeline.
Yep, and that's when I had a bunch of friends go out to a gun show, and they
buy what you can.
A couple of AKs and some other fun stuff.
I'd already had mine for a long time, so I was good, but yeah.
Right.
Well, all right, Chad, we can leave it there. I know you got to get going because we're 20 minutes past schedule now.
Hey, it's all good, man. I love our talk like we always do.
Yes,
really
indeed.
big show. Really big show.
Really big, really shiny. Some say that. I don't say that, but some say that. But,
I certainly say it.
I mean, I don't disagree. I'm not going to call him a liar.
Not going to say that? No.
No. I love his fucking interviews, dude. We should, maybe next week we'll talk about the some of the interviews he's been doing.
I've watched clips of some of his most, when he straight up calls ABC garbage to an ABC.
Yeah, right,
like,
when you like.
By the way, I hate your network. You're a piece of shit. Basically.
Yeah, like what was it? What's her name? He has her in, and he's like, she asked like one question. He's like, "See, this is already a dishonest interview." It's like we're one question.
Why did I let her in?
Like, I gave you a tour of Mar-a-Lago. I thought you would be nice to me. That's why I think that's why the one thing I'm always like curious and like I'm like why does he do this? Like why does he want like ABC and CNN and all these people, like it's almost like he wants them to like him bad.
I think it's calculated. He
kind
of feeds on this engagement. It's more talking points about him. It's like, did you see what he said to this person? And like, oh, can you believe that?
Right. Yeah. Wow. Can you believe this fucking guy? Like, holy shit.
And I mean, he knows how to fucking get a rise out of people for sure. I mean,
absolutely. He is a master troll. I mean, the picture they put out of him as the Pope the other day was absolutely fucking hilarious.
Oh, I wish that would happen.
No, I cried laughing. Dude.
I'm not even a practicing Catholic.
Just because you watched all the reactions to it, and it's like, no, Mr. President, as a Catholic, we are not happy about this. It's like, yeah, no one's asked you, bro. Like, we don't care.
Well, let me tell you something, all right? When I'm announced as Pope,
game one.
When I'm announced as Pope, biggest cloud of smoke you're ever going to see coming out of the Vatican, okay?
Yeah. Biggest tremendous cloud. It'll be a beautiful cloud.
It's gonna rain diamonds. You're not gonna believe it.
You're never gonna see a cloud like this before. They'll say they have, but they haven't.
Exactly.
They'll be lying because they're fake news. They're in bed with China.
The anti-Trump Pope China agenda.
I've got to find
totally
it.
Real.
There is so I'm running the Indy 500 this weekend on iRacing. So like every year they do the special events for my racing simulator. So I had a couple of like custom paint jobs cooked up and stuff for Memorial Day.
Oh, nice.
To honor
you
my
do
cousin,
have some great paint jobs on there.
Yes, I do. Yes. But I did one honoring my cousin. My late cousin was a United States Marine, and they have a spotter pack that you can download that's Donald Trump. And I downloaded it once. I couldn't get it to work. I really, really need to get that downloaded and working for this weekend. Now that I think, because I'm going to live stream it on Row 1C1. So I would love to have Trump just like being my spotter the entire race. Would be fucking hilarious.
And you were there to see him at Daytona when he landed.
I was.
Too, so how fitting would that be?
I did see him at Daytona. I did see Air Force One. I saw the whole night. That was wild. That was actually one of the cooler things I've ever seen. So I was in the same place as the president once.
Yeah, and you didn't even know he was showing up either.
We had a feeling he might, but I don't think we knew until like Wednesday or Thursday for sure.
Okay.
So
that's still awesome though. Like, I mean,
we did not adjust our arrival plan accordingly either, which we should have because we almost missed the start of the race because of it. But Yeah,
Well, there's
note
so
to
many
self.
people going there too. Like you really gotta leave early.
Well, the thing is to get in, the security was so beefed up because he was going to be there. It took
Yeah.
it took like 3 times as long to get through security as it normally does.
Which
So,
makes total sense. I mean, he
yep.
only almost got assassinated. So
Yeah, twice.
Mhm.
So note to anybody who's if you're ever going to be at a sporting event where the president is going to be there, definitely budget like 2 extra hours to get into wherever you're going.
Yeah,
Do not
plan
hang
ahead,
out.
folks.
Do not hang out at Hooters until 11 a.m. and then decide to go in.
I mean, you
Because
could, but you're gonna regret it because you might
that's
be late.
exactly what we did. Because Hooters in Daytona is fucking lit.
Isn't? Didn't Hooters start in Daytona?
I think
it started in Florida.
Was either that or Vegas? I can't remember. Let me look that up. That's actually a good trivia question.
I think it originated in Florida.
I think you might be right.
I want to say the Daytona.
Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Back in 1983.
And now, seems they're going the way of the dinosaur.
Not so fast. They're not dead yet. They're not dead yet.
Well,
so
around maybe the one in what is it?
I think the HQ is folding up, but I think like independent franchisees are still going to be allowed to operate under the name and logo and everything. So we'll see. But
we'll see. I miss the one in Warwick.
All you can eat wings, dude. Come on, it was so fun.
And I do like their wings. What can I say? I like the full wing.
They don't suck.
You got to get them naked though. I like them without the breading.
Yeah, no breading.
Yeah, just a crispy skin.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Exactly.
Definitely.
The way God intended it.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Chicken wings, beer, and boobs.
And pantyhose under short shorts and like oddly high scrunched up gym socks.
Yes, which somehow fucking works. So
I mean, it doesn't not work.
It sure doesn't.
I'm not mad at it. It's very specific, but I'm like, okay.
I know Twin Peaks is trying to rip it off with the lumberjack look, which does have its perks.
Dude,
but
I went to one in Kansas City when I was there for work a couple years ago, and I'll tell you, the food was excellent, and their outfits were very nice.
Well, it's like back in South Park when they go to Raisins and they're like, "Oh my God, this place is awesome." Carmen's like, "What are you talking about? We haven't even tried the food yet."
Yeah, he's the only one that is
the typical fat kid response to anything like that. Like, oh God, I need South Park in my life, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and then Butters gets obsessed with a girl who
Lexus.
he becomes that guy who, at the street. Oh, she's really into me.
Yeah. I
gotta keep going back there and giving her money.
Yeah. Yeah, we've all had that one friend that went to the strip club and fell in love with Jenna, who's going through nursing school. You know, we've all been there.
Yeah, the one guy who doesn't actually understand how this whole thing works.
Yeah. What do you mean girls will pretend to like me for money? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why you're paying the money. Why do you think you paid money to get in here to then pay them more money?
Don't you think then it would just be free and no one would want to be here?
Yeah, that means you got to earn it. You get out there and learn the skills to earn it on your own.
Yeah, do something strange with some change, homie.
learn a trade. Play any kind of goddamn instrument, even somewhat moderately okay.
Yeah,
you'll get some attention.
Yeah, it never fails, dude. There's always the one guy with the acoustic guitar at every high school party that's got at least 2 or 3 girls interested in him for no apparent reason.
And they're not even good.
And he's like, do you guys ever hear Glycerine by Bush?
Like, anyway, here's the Wonderwall. Fucking literally, it would be that.
I can play 2 songs, Wonderwall and Bush and Glycerine. That's all I need.
And they're fine songs, but
my way up the stairway to heaven. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's gonna take some time, though.
Just the intro.
Even that, I mean, it's a goddamn long ass song, and the beginning parts are the hardest.
That'll test your finger fatigue for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're lucky, you can test your finger fatigue later with the.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I think that's a perfect one to go out on. Drop the mic.
I think so. Yeah, we're totally not clowns.
Nah, not at all.
No, we're legit businessmen, and we get business done,
And
we'll
we
get
do business things.
exactly. And
We're
as
businessmen conducting business.
That's what we do.
Indeed.
And it'll be business time again next week.
Hell yeah. Monday night. Can't wait.
Right here, you know where to look, folks. The adult table. Look no further than myself and the incomparable Joey Fats.
Till next week, bud.
Later, brother.
Peace out.